are live. Alright, so welcome to episode 11 of the Dauntless Discussion. And I'm very, very happy and very excited because not only do we have another great addition, or member, of the Dauntless community, but we've got a really exciting list of things to talk about because we've got this really, yeah, I mean, there's so much coming, there's so much on the horizon, there's so much due in the very near future. Dauntless is starting to post again on their socials. It's just a very exciting time to be a Dauntless player, and I really just want to dive right into this one because there's just so much to talk about. So, as I stated, this is episode 11, and I have been making this podcast for about just over a year now. And it started just a silly little thing by myself, and it's grown and expanded, and I've invited more and more people to come join, such as DaniTea here, and we've had many other guests such as Geo Era, Eyes Fluffy, Shireen Plays, Swift and Deadly, and Glitch Is. Some great guests which have given us so much interesting things to talk about. So, the first thing that we're obviously going to have to do is introduce our wonderful guest.
Pleasure. For everyone, I'm DaniTea, the Italian YouTuber about Dauntless.
Yeah.
So I release normally content in my channel, of course, in Italian, but I start also to share my idea and my opinion with all of you, also in English. Please check also my channel to have a look. And also, today is a pleasure for me because it's my first podcast. Yes, I'm a little bit excited, I have to say. Yeah, let's see what's going on.
Yeah, sorry, I froze out a little bit there when I said it. I don't know what happened there. But Danny, thank you so much for taking the time to join the channel. It'd be really great to know a little bit more about you. I've actually been subscribed to you for a while now. I've known about you for a while. I think 3.5 years, I think you've been active with this channel, with Dauntless and Monster
Yes.
Hunter content. And I remember seeing some of your earliest videos which had really damn high views. You know, there was videos, I think your fourth or fifth video had about 15k views, and it was very impressive. So
Yeah.
you must be doing something right. So it'd be great to just learn more about you, if you don't mind.
So about me, guys, I start my channel for just random stuff. My idea, because I'm Italian, Sicilian,
Yeah.
was to make during the pandemic a very bad period of our history regarding food. I know it's a classic thing,
Of course.
but one of my friend, during the chit chat, start to say, Danny, why, you play again with us, Dauntless is free to play. I say, yes, guys, I did it, but after, I left for Monster Hunter World, I don't think it's a very great game. And this guy, no, mate, just come join us. It's free to play. You don't need to pay. Classic Italian style.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play. And it was a moment like I asked my friend, I said, how can I do this stuff? For example, how can I achieve this sort of weapon? And my friend told me, look, only guide in English, not in Italian at all. I said, okay, you know what? Get in the bin the idea of a channel about food and let's start to build a new channel about Dauntless. And I start to, of course, the quality of my video is not the greatest, I have to say, but day by day, if you put yourself on it, if you work at least with passion, you know, and you really feel to do it, just not release a video just because you won't release a video, but leave a real video, something the people they can enjoy to watch and to follow. I say okay, and I start to get subscriber and etc. And now after I reach the 1,000, I say okay, let's continue this story. Is nice. I consider myself, sorry if I say that, but the only Italian YouTuber does Dauntless, because other people they do, but regarding do a continue
Mm-hmm.
regarding patch update, armor set, patch notes, or blog. I think I'm the only one.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
fair to say.
maybe no, I'm wrong, but
No, I think
anyway,
that's a very fair comment. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And after, because also I noticed your subscription in my channel,
Mm-hmm.
I say, let me see this channel. And I saw exactly you. I say, you know what? Maybe it's also time to, after reach 1K, to spread my idea to everyone. So I do, yes, my video in Italian, but of course do some in English. That one I consider very very important to
Mm-hmm.
share with everyone. And also I have to do the
Yeah.
Italian version.
Oh, of course, yeah,
I
of
have to
course.
do copy and paste.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Same thing
this is
twice.
my lovely history.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. That's really important. Like, as you say, the Italian Dauntless YouTuber. I mean, we need that, and obviously that player base is out there with the views you're getting, with the interactions and the comments you have in your comment sections. Obviously, there's a need for that, so you're filling that gap, and it's not just filling that gap. You're doing it with your enthusiasm and your passion, and that's just wonderful. We need more people like
Thanks.
that in the Dauntless community. So, oh, fantastic.
We need
Again,
it. Maybe not like me because I complain a lot.
hi.
Yeah, we need.
Yeah.
Honestly, people they really care
Mhm.
about Dauntless,
Yeah.
especially
And that's good and
what
bad because it's not a
what is
perfect
my
game.
purpose. Yeah, the purpose I would like to achieve with my video, with some of the video, is also give a sort of message to the Phoenix Lab. I
Mhm.
know I'm a small YouTuber, I'm not a big one, but at least, just shake a little bit and say, you know
Mhm.
what, try to look this game from a different perspective, from a different point of view.
Mhm.
I don't mean I'm right or my opinion is right,
Yeah.
but at least
Mhm.
something different, something you can compare. You can say, you know what, maybe
Mhm.
he's right, this guy, or maybe no,
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
Constructive criticism, and game developers need that, I reckon, to thrive and to improve on things. And as we've said, Dauntless, it's not the perfect game. Phoenix Lab, although,
yeah,
I'm a fan of a lot of what they've done, they're not the perfect developer, but they need that constructive criticism, so I'm glad that they're getting it in some places. In channels like ours, no, we're not the biggest channels on YouTube. However, in a game like Dauntless, where it is smaller, it's not the Fortnites, it's not the World of Warcrafts. It's a smaller company,
yeah,
it's a smaller team, smaller fan base. We are
yeah.
a bigger part of that community for that reason. So I'd say we have much more impact, and we're probably heard much more than we would be for other games. So it's very important. So again, thank you so much, DaniTea, for joining this episode. I'm very excited to get to dive right in. Um, please, please, please go and head over to Danny's channel, get subscribing, check out some of the updates. His content is so consistent, and yep, just as we talked about, he's got the icon on top of his hat there. Get over there, get subscribing, and go and check out some of his content. I would appreciate that greatly. So thank you. All right, so we're just going to jump right in because there's so much to talk about, and I like to keep these shorter than an hour. But there's just so much to talk about. I don't know how the heck we're going to manage that, but we'll try our best. We'll try our best. So
Yeah, yeah, let's see,
yeah,
let's see,
we'll
let's
see
do
how
it.
it goes. Yeah. So we had a devlog on the 8th of November, and that's when things started to get really quite juicy, really a bit more interesting about what was coming. The closed
Yeah,
beta had just stopped, and we had the update stating basically just feedback from the closed beta. There was a bit of controversy on how they carried out the closed beta because a lot of channels, a lot of players, a lot of really consistent players weren't included in that closed beta, but it seems like they got the information that they wanted. How do you feel about the closed beta and everything kind of happened with that, Danny?
so regarding the closed beta, first of all, I'm a little upset because I didn't get the key.
I am too, and then
I didn't get the key.
and
So,
glitches
so
who
many
was
people they
on.
say no, they gave the
No, it's
key to
true.
the
It's
right
true.
person.
Yeah, glitches who was on the show
This is my
last
key.
month. He wasn't. He's an enormous channel, and he wasn't given a key either. He's a partner, a Dauntless partner, and he wasn't given a key. So it just shows you how unpredictable that actually was. But I'm glad to those who did get accepted. But anyway, sorry.
Some YouTuber they didn't get the. Honestly, I'm happy
Yeah.
because another YouTuber, Pike of Destiny, he got the key
Mhm.
and he gave really a massive feedback regarding the
I
experience.
seen. Yeah,
Of
I seen.
course, yeah, I mean, I consider his experience,
Mhm.
but in general, yeah. But really waiting this this new release, this Dauntless Awakening, this finally, I mean, the open beta. But regarding the closed, you know,
Yeah,
let me
yeah, same.
try, let
Yeah.
me try, let me try.
I was refreshing my emails every day, just checking to see if I got an email sent
Yeah,
out,
no,
but I
no,
wasn't
I
accepted either.
did the same. But yeah, I never said the key. They told us, don't worry, if you don't get on the same day, you're gonna get maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe the next day. But
And nothing. Yeah, but I mean,
it was
as I said,
nothing.
it could have went by. We talked about maybe it was by play hours that they had they decided it on, because I think of Ice Fluffy, who's been on the show before. He's aiming for that 1,000 reforge before the Awakening update, as I've stated before. It just shows you the amount of hours that he put into the game, and he was accepted for the closed beta. But then I know some other channels who put in just as much time, or
Yeah,
sorry, other
they
players who
brought it.
put in the
Yeah.
time, they weren't accepted. So it was completely random. However, it seems like they got the information they wanted. They then shared that they were going to be delaying the launch again. It was meant to be obviously the summer, and then over to November, now the end of the year. Um,
Was also something. I mean, in a video I did in Italian. I don't remember if I did also in English. Um, let's say I find some clue regarding this game will be released so late. Because if you remember, was a dev blog beginning of each month. But for some month we have like a gap. We
that's
have
true.
June missing.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, we have some gap. And also, this is the most important thing. When you are close to release a game, of course, you keep some of the surprise and the new things for yourself. You
Yeah.
just spoil just, a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But each blog was A, and the new one was A plus B, and the third one was A, B, and C. So when you release so little information, like a drop, water drop, and add for give a little bit more the previous information plus the gap,
Yeah.
I was start to thinking,
Yeah, and it would have been too good to be true. I always expected a delay. I mean, I didn't think it would be till the end of the year, but I did expect a delay. But
yeah,
yeah. So we also heard that Ramsgiving, the event is essentially cancelled as well. I mean, I think they're going to be launching some stuff on the Dauntless store, but the event itself, they've kind of just pulled that back, and I think they're waiting for the Frostfall event.
I mean, honestly with you, which kind of big impact can have Ramsgiving right now for all the player in general, Because when especially this, when we're gonna remove some stuff, okay? We're gonna remove, I mean, we don't know exactly what they're gonna remove.
Yeah.
Why, if a new player, I have to play this special event?
Yeah.
For which reason, Especially old player like me, like you, not for age, but for time in this
We've
game.
done it many times. We've done it many times, yeah.
Why I have to play a game Ramsgiving?
No, I get it.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think to remove it was a big impact in general.
No. I mean, it's something I look forward to, but I mean, I get it. I get why they've done it. It's not a priority, and they've got bigger things coming on the horizon, as I stated in a video a while back. The next thing they talked about was the Slayers Club being removed. The 30-day Slayers Club pass was removed there and then. This gave us a clue into something I'm going to talk about later, and that's to do with the launch date. That gives me not a slight clue about the launch date. And then the final thing they talked about was they never talked about. They just left in a sentence saying full steam ahead. So full steam ahead. That was the first hint towards obviously that Steam launch, which again we'll talk about very soon. But now we have confirmation of that.
Okay, but regarding my question is this: at the moment, the two biggest platforms are Epic and Steam. Nothing to remove from Epic, absolutely greatest and also great Steam. So why decide to do this move? I never saw a game on Epic with any problem regarding server. Anyway, if we still keep talking about Dauntless,
Yeah.
I never saw any sort of lag, any sort of crash, or something because the server is not big enough, you know? Also, when they release the Chronovore
Yeah.
and the new island and the Chronovore, etc., was a massive update,
Oh
you
yeah, I
know?
remember it
And
well.
that one makes sense if in the beginning was hard to log, but because it was a crash on the program, you know,
Aye.
was not related to the server. Now they move on Steam, and my question, the only question I
No,
have
fire away.
is if I have, let's say, 1000 coin on Epic, on my account on Epic, when they move on Steam, I gonna keep it 1000 coin,
Probably
or I will
not.
see my wallet with.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I've used I switch between Nintendo Switch, Epic Games on the PC, and the Xbox. So I've had gifts where I've been given Nintendo e-cards. So then obviously I put them towards Dauntless coins, and it's interesting because you get those coins when you play on the Nintendo Switch, but when you log into your PC, you don't have that platinum. So I think it will probably be a similar system to that when it comes out on Steam. Your platinum that you have bought through the Epic Game Store, maybe it will, but if you've bought it specifically through the Epic Game Store, probably not. So, but then again, you can just go back over Epic Games and then play the game there. I so I'm happy for two reasons, three reasons actually, three reasons. One is the controller support in Steam's pretty good. I like the controller support, so it allows me to use any controller to much more effectively than you can on Epic Games. Two, Steam Deck players. Obviously, Shireen plays who's been on the podcast many times. She's a Steam Deck player, and that's exclusive. It's difficult. You can use Epic Games on a Steam Deck, but it's not
Yeah,
ideal. Yeah, so
yeah, it's
that's
not ideal.
yeah. So it's
Yeah,
tapping into that
sorry,
player. No,
sorry
no,
if I
no.
interrupt
So
you.
it's tapping into that player
I
base,
was
and then
using a Steam Deck. I
yeah,
was using a Steam Deck, and with Dauntless, I find the problem to launch the game.
yeah.
Every other game was perfectly
That's
fine, no
interesting.
problem. But when I was launching the game,
Yeah.
was an error like conflict regarding my save
Oh.
located on my laptop and the Steam Deck.
Right, okay.
So now moving on Steam, of course, make
Yeah.
the difference if you have a Steam Deck.
So that's a whole new console, I guess. And then Steam, there's that. I've never understood it, and I'll be honest, I've never understood this at all, is the hatred for Epic Games. It's something that's just, I don't get it. I've never hated Epic. I don't know why people hate Epic. Whatever, okay, so that's fair.
Is
But all those people
it's a
that don't,
competition LOL against
maybe.
Dota.
But why do people have to compete with everything?
It's
I'll
the
never
same
get that.
story, you know.
It's-
They are good game, but
Yeah.
the people.
Exactly. So, but then all those players that refused to play the game because it was on Epic Games, hopefully a lot of those players will now play it because it's on Steam, thus bringing up the player base a little bit. So those are some of the positives I see from it. I can totally get what you're saying. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Epic Games. It works fine. The servers are fine. If any crash I've had, it's because of the Dauntless game itself, not because of the Epic's game launcher. So I get that, but at the same time, there's got to be some benefits in terms of player base. So that's just my thoughts. Yeah. All right.
I mean, we have to consider also regarding this move, Blizzard. We talk about Blizzard. We don't talk about random company.
Yeah, Blizzard.
They move all the game on Steam. We talk about Blizzard. They made some mess up regarding Diablo 3 and Overwatch, but after that they fixed the problem, and now they just literally move everything.
I seen that, yeah, a while back.
To Steam.
Interesting. I had a thought. So you were talking about platinum that you maybe have on Epic Games. I noticed when you go onto Steam and you can add Dauntless to your wish list, you have to have an Epic's game account. You have to link your Epic's game account to Steam to get it to launch. So therefore, that makes me think that Steam's then going to redirect you back to Epic Games. It's something like that. So I think maybe your platinum still probably would be there. I remember EA, that used to happen, like when games from EA first came to Steam, they linked you straight back to their launcher again. It was very strange, but who knows?
Yeah.
So
who knows? I mean, we will see when we'll be on.
Yeah,
Let's see how it is. But yeah, I
sure.
find the same issue with Cyberpunk. I
Mm-hmm.
download the game and after was redirect me to the launcher of the A because like,
Ah.
love it.
Mm-hmm. Do you like Cyberpunk? It's a good game, eh? Good
I
game.
like
Yeah,
it. I
it's a
like it.
great
I
game. Yeah,
like it. I
yeah.
like it.
I've always
Bug
liked
or
that.
no bug, not a good game.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, so moving on because we're not going to dwell on that blog too long because they really didn't touch on too much more than that. It was quite brief in terms
Yeah.
of new content. They were preparing for the next dev blog, which came out on the 14th of November last week, and this was the big one. This was probably the ultimate dev blog that they have shared
Yeah.
with us in the past year. And as I said, this podcast, we've been through everything, and yourself, Danny, we've talked about every dev blog that's launched since they started a year ago. You know, we've dissected them, we've talked about the rumours, the speculation, but this is the one that shares
Yeah.
everything that's coming to Dauntless Awakening. And some of it we already knew about. Some of it's new stuff that seems quite interesting, and some of it seems a little bit iffy. So it'll be great to just jump into it and talk about it and look into some more detail
Yeah.
if that's all right with you. So, what did you think of that dev blog?
So, regarding the, let's say, the devlog,
Yeah.
I'm uh, I'm happy regarding
Mhm.
fight point. I like the introduce of a new creature, a new behemoth.
Mhm.
It's nice. Very different from the sketch because seriously,
It
when they
has. It's
was
changed a lot.
showing the sketch,
Mm.
like, it's
An
like
awful lot.
seriously from a sort of ladybug
Mhm.
to a scorpion crab. Like, okay,
It's funny that.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Um, I'm very the point. Stronger is this end of the year
Mhm.
because it's everything and nothing.
Yeah.
Because end of the year can be the 31st, okay,
Mhm.
but can be also the 30. The 30 is considered almost end of the year.
Mm.
We are there. It's very tough decision
Yes.
because if you remember when they released Dauntless, after a month roughly,
Mhm. Mhm.
was Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna release Awakening, and in 2 months we have Monster Hunter Wild.
It's funny that it's
So
coincides.
yeah,
Hmm.
if you consider this, thinking if I'm attracted
Mhm.
to Monster Hunter, but also I have enough money to buy Wild, and I love hunting game.
Mhm. You know what you're
So
gonna
get no,
buy.
but
Yeah, for sure.
is quite tough about that.
Mhm.
I'm sad a little bit also regarding the weapon because the fact they said that they're gonna uh, leave this quest to unlock the weapon, you
Mhm.
got the token to unlock the weapon, okay, everything marvelous. But the thing is, what happened for all the people that already have this weapon?
Mhm.
Do we start all together from zero or not?
I mean,
Because some people,
from the information
what they
I've
will do,
gathered, I think we're going to be keeping transmogs. But in terms of our weapons, yes, I think we'll be starting from the very
yeah,
beginning with Zilcho with nothing.
yes,
That's
yes,
that's from what I've gathered. And this is not the first time they've done this with. And I've talked about frustration around this before. I mean, I love that they're adding an overhaul to Dauntless. It needs an overhaul, but how they go about it sometimes can it really it pisses off half the player base, because it's essentially a complete reset. They did that with Reforge. They completely changed and revamped the weapon progression, and a huge amount of
yeah,
the player base didn't like it and left for that reason. And they're doing it again, and it's going to put off a lot
yeah,
of people, I can imagine.
indeed. Also, the swap weapon for some sort of player, like
Hmm.
I consider everyone casual player because honestly, who is a real pro player? Okay, we have it, but there are few. If you
Yeah, yeah.
compare all the people who play this game,
Hmm.
the swap weapon for these people was easy because for me, maybe also for you, play Dauntless is a way to enjoy and have a relaxed time with some friends.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
it.
know some people they prefer competition,
Mm-hmm.
and they start to moaning a little bit about, okay, we have the swap weapon, but in trial,
Mm-hmm.
on the trial, every week trial, how will be this impact with this weapon?
Mm-hmm.
So how will be, the
Mm-hmm.
top 10 if I do chain blade and axe,
Yeah.
which section I am,
I think I
because
heard
if
they're
you
going to
do
be
chain
taking that
blade,
out for a while. They're going to be completely taking out the leaderboards. I don't know what the plans are for the future, but I do
yeah,
believe they're going to be getting rid of it for a little while, which is I can imagine the
they
competitive players
they
aren't going to
added
like
lot
that.
of good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. A lot of players that don't gonna like it. This is something I'm wondering because we have our community, big or smaller
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
will be. We leave a message to the Phoenix Lab. We try, to say, look, we don't like this. We want that. You know, I understand sometimes we are wrong,
Mm-hmm. Oh no, yeah,
but
totally. Mm-hmm.
sometimes let's try to follow the people,
Mm-hmm.
to follow and see
Mm-hmm.
what happen.
Well,
And yeah, I see they just modify the way to achieve skin, platinum, and etc. This new project regarding achieve all
yeah.
these things, and this is great.
Mm-hmm.
And this is great if you made a right way or a new way
Mm-hmm.
to achieve all these things without loot box, because I'm against loot box at
Yeah,
all.
we'll talk about that. Yeah, the new canister system, of
Yeah,
course.
but the question in my mind regarding this big dev blog is what is the real gameplay? What the Phoenix Lab won't add on the game?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
if you remove and modify is great, but is the gameplay the real part of Dauntless? You know, this is the question in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I did some suggestion in my channel, like for example, made a sort of world boss
Okay.
where to fight.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes, I remember
know,
you talking about that. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, like a
Mm-hmm.
sort of world boss
Mm-hmm.
should be fine. Make something more when the reason of to have a guild.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm in your guild or
Mm-hmm.
the opposite, is a good reason, and not just to go in the arena, do few stuff and etc.
Yeah. That,
I don't know.
I remember you
I
talking
speak.
about that. Like a behemoth.
Yeah.
So we have our legendary behemoths, and they pose a challenge. But let's be honest, we can now pretty easily defeat them now. So having a world boss where it takes an entire guild of players, that would be pretty cool to
Yes.
see. I would love that.
Will be really,
Mhm.
because if you remember the beginning of this game, being a guild or being on my friend list
Yeah.
was the same.
Mhm. Yeah.
After they introduced the coin and blah blah blah, okay,
Mhm.
great, but we need more. We need a view or a path
Mhm.
point in this direction
Mhm.
in guild and gameplay,
Mhm. Mhm.
because loot, okay, new system for
Yeah.
the new skin is great, but the gameplay, in my opinion,
Mhm.
is the core, is the great part,
Mhm.
must be where they have to work more.
It's interesting you say that because I remember them in some of the earliest dev blogs. In fact, it was the one when they talked about the New World map, where they talked about guilds competing for areas of the world map. I remember them talking about that, but then they haven't talked any more about it, and it wasn't shared in that dev blog,
Yeah,
which makes me think that's maybe just something either they're going to be working on or something they've abandoned. It was something I was kind of. I mean, it's not like a world boss with your entire guild taking on a
yeah,
behemoth,
yeah,
which we would
yeah,
love to
yeah. I
see.
got you, I got
But it was a purpose for the build because you're all throwing in hours into these islands to be on leaderboards to compete for the title of those islands, and it was
you. Yeah,
something to work towards. I don't think they're going to be doing that now because I've heard absolutely nothing about it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't heard anything about it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Me too, me too. Honestly, also on the last dev blog,
mhm.
this one you mentioned, is nothing about that. Was
No,
this sort
no.
of conquer the Shuttering Island for each
Mhm.
bioma, for the ice one, fire, and
Mhm.
etc.
Mhm.
And okay, but was focus on farming behemoth, and
Yeah, the
I
grind.
mean,
The grind is real, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I don't think so. It's the right point.
Well, there was plenty. I mean, to go through the blog because there was so much they shared, and for those that maybe aren't in the know, to go through all the information that is coming through this Dauntless update. Of course, we have Karkonos, which is the new behemoth they're going to be adding to the game. It was with the help of the community via a live stream many years ago. Finally, they're releasing this Umbral behemoth. I'm really looking forward to taking this thing down. But
Yeah,
I wouldn't say I'm even more excited, but I'm just as excited for the hunting grounds that is coming with the Twilight Domain. I mean, finally, I think Blazeworks, that's our last island we've had, isn't it? You're talking about 3 years
yeah,
ago, I think the Blazeworks came along, and I love the Blazeworks.
yeah.
It's a great island. I love the phalanx and the way you summon it with the valves. Another island like that is long overdue. Looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
do this sort of things is nice. It's
Yeah,
very nice. Make
definitely.
the island more dynamic
Yeah.
and not just go from A to B to B to C,
Mhm.
etc. Okay, the Phalanx was really a big step.
Mhm.
Really was massive
For sure.
because the
Yeah.
idea to fight first of all a behemoth,
Mhm.
after activate each single valve,
Yeah.
go inside the pit, fight the pre-boss,
Yeah.
and after fight the boss, that one was serious, was a cool idea. So these guys, they have the potential,
They
they
do.
have the right tool,
Mhm.
they have to just squeeze in the right way, let's say.
Well, the Chronovore as well. I mean, I love the way you summon the Chronovore in the temple. That's
Yeah,
another
the
highlight for
chrono,
me.
yeah,
I
the
mean,
chrono, yeah.
sorry, you don't even get to do that with the Chronovore. It's a Lyra now. I preferred it when it was a Chronovore because the Chronovore felt more legendary. It felt more godlike. You know, I like the
Yeah.
Alira as a behemoth. I've never been too keen on, but I feel like it's a bit underwhelming the way you summon it. But still, the potential is there for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, still potential.
Yeah.
And this is something I want share with everyone. This is always be my idea.
Sure.
Boreus, the Frost Boreus,
Mhm.
from the beginning, when I saw the Frost Boreus, for me, and seriously, I want the comment from everyone. For me, the Boreus is a boss. It's not a beamer because it has all the mechanic for a boss.
Minions.
He
Yeah.
has a first status without any armor. He goes with the armor. You have to kill off the creep,
Mhm.
break the ice armor,
Mhm.
and after fight him. It is amazing. It's just a random creature around the land, the Shutter
And
Island.
he's very
No, he
frustrating
Boreas
to kill.
deserves
He's
to be a
so
boss.
frustrating because not only does he spawn minions, but then he's got his ice shield, and it's a behemoth that takes so much longer to kill than it should. And you're right, it
Yes,
has all the characteristics of a boss behemoth. So if they spruce that
must
up
be
a
a
bit,
boss.
that's a good way. I've never thought of it like that. That's
Hashtag
quite interesting.
Boreas boss.
You heard it right here first, Phoenix Labs. Then they talk about
Yeah,
the new weapon system, the unique weapons. I won't run through them all, but we have a big list of all the weapons, such as the Silver Sword and the Living Branch, and some new ones, but some that we've obviously had for a very long time, which definitely makes me think that yes, we will have all our weapons taken from us, and we'll slowly we'll gather these new weapons,
yeah,
and we'll be leveling them up to level 50 until level 60. It's going to be a heck of a grind getting it from 50 to 60. We're going to be using that new Aetherite XP system,
yeah.
which, fair enough, it's just the new XP system. It's not as complicated as it sounds at all. The
Yeah,
next thing
not the hard.
yeah, exactly. The next thing they talk about is the crown of the committed. The new crown. The second new crown, actually. What's your thoughts on that new crown?
Yeah. Nice.
Hmm?
It look like I said, it's like a tiger or anyway a cat face.
Hmm.
This crown, if you see, because it has
Yeah!
this sort of eye, and
Danny,
after this,
honestly, you've got a way of looking at things that I just do not have. I never noticed that. You've picked that right out there, and now I can't unsee it. That's incredible.
but this,
I see it now.
have a look. It
Yeah,
look like a sort of cat or anyway
yeah, it
tiger.
does. I'm just looking at it now. That's quite cool. There you go. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
No.
it is. Honestly, it look
Yeah.
like to me like a sort of cat. Nice. I hope has any sort of animation, because come on, after so many reforms, people they have
Oh yeah.
1,000 reforms only in one weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's gonna be a little bit, of light or
It,
something
it
particular.
looks kind of foggy, like there'll be a fog or an aura or something. It looks like there'll be something there. I'm not sure what, but
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like
yeah.
this sort of steam fog around. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let's
Yeah.
have a look.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Obviously, we've got the crown of the committed, and then we've got the other crown that they shared a while back. Which so the original one, they only required one reforge with every weapon, and obviously there were some complaints from people who have reforged 1,000, 2,000 times that thought this is ridiculous. That's nowhere near enough. And then obviously the Crown of
Yeah.
Committees came out that they've announced it, and it's you need to have 10 reforges for every weapon, which is more difficult, I would say. However, again, some people weren't too pleased because some people haven't reforged weapons that they don't enjoy. Like, if you don't want to use the hammer, you don't want to use the repeaters. However, I
Yeah.
noticed on Reddit, and it's not been officially announced, but it's been confirmed by the developers that you don't have to just have 10 reforges in every weapon. As long as you've got 70 reforges, that's it, in any weapon or in all your weapons
Okay.
combined, if you've got 70 reforges, you'll unlock that crown at the launch of Dauntless Awakening,
There are
which,
a lot.
thank God, yeah, yeah.
There
So,
are a lot, honestly. Bank XP or not is still a lot.
it is a lot, but I think it's going to be more enjoyable because I don't want to reforge. I don't use repeaters, so I don't want to reforge that 10 times to get this crown, but I really want to get this crown. So knowing that I can just now unlock it because with my
Yeah.
sword and my axe and all these weapons, I now have enough reforges to unlock it. Yeah, so yeah, that's quite interesting. Aye. So then we have got the armor progression and the cells, and obviously cells will be playing a smaller part in builds. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people in my
Building
comments.
the cell, honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, I told regarding feedback from Italy.
Mhm.
Some people they are a little bit upset because they set now a cap,
Mhm.
and honestly, guys, is correct at a cap because I saw people, and I remember was an email like for ban these people was
Mhm.
the combo, the trick combo
Yeah.
with the Omni cell, that one for the shield.
Uh huh.
So some guy that just gets so much shield to shot the behemoth on shield with one
That's
one
me. That's
hit.
that's what I use. That is my build. And combined with the Defiant Stone
And
from the escalations, it's a
yeah,
game breaking glitch for
what
goodness sake. Yeah.
seriously, like really. But okay, okay. So have a limit, have a cap.
Mhm.
Makes sense. Makes absolutely sense.
Yeah.
At least people they don't do this sort of trick or cheat.
Yeah. Sales, obviously, they make the build right now, but they'll be playing a lesser role now. A lot of people in my comments have been asking if you should be farming +3 sales right now, because they're going to be taking away, obviously, craftable sales and they'll become much more rare. I'd say yes, be farming these sales because I don't think they'll get taken off you, so I think it'd be a good idea to be farming those +3 cells because I believe that when you add them to new armors, they'll be destroyed once you take them out again. So they're not like they're not
Yeah.
replenishable. You're going to be using them up more often. So get them
Um,
farmed.
mm,
Oh, you
yeah,
go. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Is nice because also if you remember how many, I mean about me, how many the sort of green dust you have on your
Yeah, ether
inventory? This
dust.
one,
Yeah.
to reforge it to speed up. How many you have? And you never use it.
Mhm.
At least I know lose a
It's true.
cell,
Mhm.
of course, is a pain,
Yeah.
but it's not the first game does these things. When
No.
you remove something, you're gonna lose it. So
No, it makes sense.
I
It makes
totally
it.
agree.
It's more
So
rewarding, I would say. And I've got thousands of cells and so much ether dust.
yeah,
There's just no point in it, so I'm glad they've come up with a way. It's actually an improvement in my opinion. It makes sense. Then
oh,
we
it is.
have the new hunt pass. The first time they'll be adding a new hunt pass in over 2 years. I mean, it's going to have 50 levels, and it's going to grant you the new deep sea hunt pass armors and weapons. And
Yeah.
interestingly, so this is something we didn't know, or I didn't know anyway. is obviously they're doing away with the Slayer's Club, which is the XP boosting thing that you can buy. And this is going to replace it because they're now going to have 3 tiers of Hunt Pass. So they're going to have the free tier, they're going to have the tier that we would use currently, and then they're going to have an elite tier on top of that, and that's going to replace the Slayer's Club. From a financial and business point of view, it makes sense, I would say. I can see why they're doing it.
Is because we have to consider also another things. Okay, this game is free to play,
Yeah.
but in the end of the day, I need money. So I mean, this is what the thing said. Okay, because I give it to you the game for free, but
Yeah.
at least I have to set something, you know, when I can make some money and divide this sort of free bonus. One you can pay, let's say, 5, 10 pound or euro whatsoever, and another one extra. It's absolutely okay. It's absolutely fine. It's right. It's a right decision because they have to make money. Otherwise, they're gonna close server. They're gonna close the game and see you later, alligator.
Yeah, and
it's the right choice.
And it just makes sense because people are probably going to be more inclined to buy the most expensive Hunt Pass rather than a completely separate entity that's the Slayer's Club. I mean, I have bought the Slayer's Club a couple of times when I'm farming and trying to get XP really quickly, but it's very rare. However, if there's 3 tiers of Hunt Pass, you better believe I'll be buying the most expensive one because I want all the perks with it. So I think it makes sense. Yeah. So then we have Canisters. Hooray! Canisters. Fantastic. A bit of controversy on Reddit already from what I've seen. Well, we just replaced the word canisters with loot boxes, I guess. Dauntless is adding loot boxes. Thoughts?
I mean, loot box. I disagree. I'm sorry. It's gambling. It's gambling. I know it's working good. It's working good. It's easy to make money with gambling.
Yeah.
But I'm serious. I'm against these things.
Fair.
I'm really against.
I would never argue against it. It's not something that overly bothers me. I mean, I've always just avoided... When I played the Elder Scrolls Online, I never touch the crate system because it's the equivalent. It's a loot box system. It doesn't bother me, but I don't use it, you know? I think they talk about how they're going to do it carefully and with transparency and integrity and all that, but that remains to be seen. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, they are words, you know. Also, FIFA said, don't worry, everything is already scripted, everything has a percentage, you know, to find this and that. But some cards, they have like 0.00000000001.
Hey, that's still a chance. Just 0.001% chance.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'll never argue against it. No. Makes sense. It is. It's gambling essentially. It's a good way to make money. I understand why they're doing it. It doesn't bother me too much. But if someone said they were against it, I would understand. I would totally understand.
Yeah, no, because it's you like pay for the LSC and also loot box.
Yeah.
We decide to have this. I mean, why when I say we? Because if we are 3 people and 2 of those they like loot box. Every single game they will say, you know what, let's put loot box. If you think that the first skin, was for I don't remember which game was like the gold skin for the horses, and another one was
it was Oblivion.
World of Warcraft. We don't regard the skin, and they made it 1,000 of dollar, pound, or whatsoever. So I know with the loot box, of course, if you like gambling, it's like serious, like a hook. You're just to pull and that's it.
Well, they obviously know how to make money, and that's what they're going to try and do. Yeah. As I said, I'll never argue against someone that's against it because yes, it's not a good practice in video games. It's something I've always just avoided, and I'll probably continue to do it with Dauntless. Maybe curiosity. I'll see what's there, but it's not a system I will use. It's not a system I have historically used either. So then we have the new cosmetics. They talk about the new God Hand armor bundle, which will just be added to the store. Just a little thing. It's lovely looking armor. It looks really nice. They've
It's
got...
very, very Roman Greek.
Yes, it is, eh? It's mythological, Greek inspired. It's very nice, very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's very nice.
yeah,
And my impression, I have this question for you.
sure.
The wing behind and the wing on top of the head.
Mm-hmm.
If you see, maybe I'm wrong, maybe, but they look like the set they released with the Chronover the first time. If you remember, was
Yes, I
that metal
remember.
armor with this
Yeah, I can
little
see the
wing?
similarities. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you check, because I remember that armor was two kind of armor.
yeah.
One with the physical wing, let's say,
Uh-huh.
and another one with the ether wing or
Mm-hmm.
energy wing. And this one is very similar. I mean, this part is very similar to that one.
It is actually, yes.
And yeah, it's
And
very cool. It's very cool. I like it.
the armor itself, I mean, this one, Etheric Armor Code, which I got with the indie pack, it looks a lot like a much more glamorized version of that. I can see the similarities between
Yeah.
that as well. It's quite interesting actually. It's funny that's right
Yeah, no,
there.
no, it is.
Yeah, but yeah. So then we have main questling editions. So they're going to be even experienced players are going to go back and play tutorial missions, which I'm quite happy about. I like going back and playing these things.
Yeah.
It will introduce the new systems. You know, there's times I've wanted to go back and play Dauntless from the start for the missions. I'll never do it because I've got too many things unlocked, obviously, in a big account. But it's I'm quite happy about that. And then we have obviously the new UI. We have the new interface and all that kind of stuff. We'll see how that
Yeah.
goes. It looks very nice. It looks very sleek. They talk about elemental statuses, so Umbral and Umbral, Radiant, and Frost elemental effects which you
Yeah.
can now inflict on behemoths. Fair enough,
What do you
yes.
think they're gonna do, these two status? Because the Umbra, more or
Uh-huh.
less, you can make an idea.
Yeah.
But the light one, I'm really confused because what you will get?
Mm-hmm.
A shield, extra shield, maybe?
No, but I mean,
Maybe
time
more quick.
manipulation, like with the Chronovore, you know, it could lag, it could glitch, or that might just be a Dauntless glitch. Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, maybe regarding time, you can be much quicker
Mhm.
for it the beam, you know?
Mhm.
Can
Mhm.
be possible. The dark one can be the classic effect
Mm.
when you eat, also you heal yourself.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like now it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
makes
can see
sense
that.
if they keep
Mhm.
this status.
Yeah. We've got Behemoth Reworks, which they've talked about. They're changing some of the animations of the Valamir, the Embermane, behemoths like that. New fauna, we've got the
Yeah,
Chaoxes, the Vespers, the Orchids. Nice little additions, some background additions to islands, which are always good. We've got the streamlined buffs, we've got might, critical, speed, vitality, defense, and endurance. They're just simplifying those buffs by the looks of it. Fair.
yes.
Yeah, I get it.
Because in the past series it was a massive line of blue icon,
And
blue, green, and
and
black.
it doesn't
Like,
make any sense, you know. It's
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Also, I mean, if you play from PC, it was not
Mhm.
like a sort of legenda to see this icon. What
Mhm.
does it mean?
It,
Just to have an idea, you
exactly.
know.
Yeah.
You have few icon also similar and
Mhm.
say, okay, but what does it mean this? What does it mean that?
Mhm. It's like they were trying to
Just to
copy
restrict it.
traditional MMOs. They have interfaces where it obviously shares a list of all the effects and the AoE damage and all the little bits and bobs, all the buffs. They're obviously
Yeah,
trying to mimic that, but it doesn't work very well because you just can't tell what's what. So it makes sense.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
We've got some slight Ramsgate changes. We've got the middleman leaving Ramsgate. We've got Granny Strega who's taken over grenade crafting. We've got the new the castle that's been opened up. Just some slight changes. Nothing too exciting
Yeah,
really.
this is not the big
Nah,
difference.
nah, not
This
really.
is, let's say, can I make a spoiler of one of my video? Anyways, in English, I
Do it.
think so. My Italian subscriber, they are okay.
Do it.
So,
Do it. Do
you
it.
know, regarding the grenade,
Oh yeah.
this is the point.
Mhm.
If I ask you, you and everyone,
Mhm.
guys, when you use the grenade,
No.
only for the daily mission, and that's it.
I never ever apart from daily missions have I ever used
Exactly.
grenades because it's a waste of a potion. You know, you would use anything else other
Exactly.
than a grenade.
My my little idea about the grenade is so simple.
Mhm.
because of course you cannot make these grenades so powerful in damage, you know.
Nah.
My idea was, if you have, let's say, 100,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and a weapon does, let's say, 80
Mm-hmm.
normal damage plus 20 elemental, you
Okay.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you have to reach, let's say, 200
Mm-hmm.
to activate the status of
Okay.
Umbra, or Fire, or Ice, or whatsoever. Make the grenade, let's say, 20 damage,
Mm-hmm.
80 elemental damage. So I give let's say, a
Yeah, I know what
power
you're
up
saying.
regarding
Uh-huh.
the status. For example, the frost status, instead to be slow the behemoth,
Mm-hmm.
make frost completely, stuck. It
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
move, because you use the grenade.
Just
It
make
makes
them
sense,
useful.
but of
Yeah.
course,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But the best part, honestly, can be because you have few grenade,
Uh-huh.
and of course, if you have to choose between grenade and potion, you will still use potion. The best way to keep the grenade on your
Mm-hmm.
inventory can be when you reach the pillar in the escalation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you have grenade with you, you get all the grenade you have used back. But
Mm-hmm.
for example, if you have five,
Mm-hmm.
instead to get back again five,
Yeah.
you get only two. At least it's something,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you can still use it, because otherwise will be, oh my god, I have this behemoth, shall I use now or shall I keep for the future,
Exactly.
for the next behemoth?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
this
Or the
case,
legendary.
you can use it, but the only
Mm-hmm.
question in your mind will be, if I use now,
Mm-hmm.
in the next round, instead to have five,
Mm-hmm.
I will be on my inventory only two. I
Hmm.
mean, can be an idea.
That makes
Can be an
sense.
idea.
That makes a lot of sense. Making them, and when you talk about the pillars at the ends of the each escalation level,
Escalation, you know?
that you could be buffing those grenades as well. That could be something that could be added in some
Yeah.
way. I think, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
just make like a sort of class.
hmm
You have the DPS, and you can have a sort of support,
yeah,
you know?
exactly, yeah, because they do talk about wanting to create, not create classes, but they want different slayers having different impacts. So they want more of a traditional sense of DPS, tank, and healer. And they're not going to get that, but they might get something closer to it than they have previously. And that would be a great way to
Yeah,
integrate that.
you know?
Hmm.
Because you can be still my DPS,
Yeah.
but if you use potion, you
Hmm.
will be above me.
Yeah.
But if I use grenade
Hmm.
in terms of elemental
Yeah.
damage and status, I will be above you.
Hmm.
So this means I will help you to reach the status and
Hmm.
also to increase your damage. So it's a sort of 50-50.
Hmm.
So I help you to reach the status, but also you will help me to inflict more damage.
Yeah.
It's a good compromise.
Phoenix Lab, you know where to go. You know what to say. That's a perfect example of integrating a mechanic which doesn't get used very often to make it useful. There you go. You
Yeah.
heard it here first. Fantastic. That's exactly why we do this podcast, because these opinions are not. I can't come up with that myself. You know, this is why we have these great content creators and great opinions joining this podcast. I'm not even being sarcastic. It's very true. Very true. So that was basically everything they talk about, and then they summarise at the end. They talk about how there's things they've obviously not they've shared in the past, but they've not shared it in this blog. And they talk about the legend hunts, which was something I was really, really excited for. I have to be honest. Legend hunts was one of the earliest things they talked about, and it was one of the things that I was most excited about. And then the pets, of course, which they've hinted at many a time. That's another thing they say that they're in the works. They're working on it, but it's not going to launch with the update. Fair enough. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed about the legend hunts, but I can understand. It's a lot for the dev team to take on. So yeah, that was everything. That was that whole devlog. It was huge, it was exciting, and it basically summarised everything that we've been told for the past year in one blog, which was great. I was very happy about it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's great. It release really, like you said,
Mhm.
was a moment when was one blog almost
Oh
per
yeah.
month,
Mhm.
and after it just did boom, boom, boom,
Mhm.
boom, boom. Okay. Okay. I mean, for us it's good because we have a reason to, you
Mhm.
know, do a video.
Mhm.
But this one, yes, was massive. Was massive because this is what you're looking for. This is
Exactly.
when you can feel the game is gonna release soon, almost.
Well, I think it was
Just feeling.
like episode 4 or 5 of this podcast, and the title of it actually was "All Quiet on the Dauntless Front," and it was me just speculating and getting as much information as I could from absolutely zero source material because they had nothing to share.
Yeah.
Whereas now we've got it all, we're spoiled for things, and it's coming very soon. So. Yeah. So that's the two dev blogs we've had. We're due another one probably tonight. Actually, there should be one tonight or in the coming days. It's usually Friday, I think they share it. So it's round about now. We'll probably be getting another one. It'll be interesting to see what they talk about that. However, I thought it'd be really good to kind of just talk about some of the interesting new additions, the speculation, and the mechanics that they could be adding to the game as well. The first thing being obviously that Steam launch. We've already talked about it quite a wee bit, so there isn't really much to go into with it anymore. However, I noticed the first spoiler, the first hint. Did you get that when you read it the first time? The full steam ahead statement written in bold. Did you see that first time?
Let's say I have a Telegram group,
Mm-hmm.
and in private I got so many notifications. Danny, it's on Steam. Oh my god, it's on Steam. And I go, hey,
Okay.
hey,
Hey.
slow down.
Yeah.
Hey, they didn't say they closed. They just
Mm-hmm.
moved. It's okay. I mean, if, like you said, regarding the controller way will be better, totally agree. At least, you have more performance
Yeah.
with your controller.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right. But like I said, in general, move from Epic to Steam, from my side,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see so many things. So
No.
the
No.
advantage,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Steam Deck and controller, but
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. I mean, if they plan to do that, of course, they are more than welcome.
It was funny the way they kind of they hinted at it in that devlog, and then obviously a few days before they announced it, they shared that 3 second clip on Twitter and on Facebook of the steam valves on the Dauntless steam valve. What's it called? The Phalanx Island. It's just out of my head there. So they shared a very brief clip of steam coming off the valves on the island. What's the Blazeworks? The Blazeworks island, and that was another hint, obviously, that it was coming on Steam. And they actually replied to my comment on X, kind of just saying, "We've no idea what you're talking about," winky face. So they were basically just ready to announce that it was coming to Steam. It was quite funny. Um,
Okay, let's see, let's see, let's see. Let's wait this idea for Steam. And that point, I will uninstall Epic because the only game I have on my desktop from Epic. Sorry, Epic,
Same, yeah.
just only Dauntless. I don't have any other game because the rest is all Steam.
It's all Steam, yeah.
Baldur's Gate
Hmm.
is Steam. Monster Hunter
Hmm.
Wild will be on Steam.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's Elder
let's
Scrolls
see.
games with me and Total War games, which are all on Steam. So I'm Steam as well. The
Yeah.
only game I have on Epic Games is Dauntless. It's worked great, it's worked perfect, but it's probably more likely I'll uninstall it and then install it on Steam. So, but there's not really much
Yeah,
else to talk
makes
about for
sense.
Steam wise because let's be honest, it's not fair enough. It's good news, but it's not enormous news for me. I would say.
Let's say Steam is the sort of Apple for the phone. Everybody
Mm,
won't go to Steam,
mm-hmm.
and everybody almost have an iPhone. I don't know about you, but me,
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing was I talked about it in my last video, and it was a bit of rumour, a bit of speculation. However, it was then confirmed on Reddit by I think it was Aurelia, Dauntless Dev. So one of the new artworks they shared shows the. Wait till I just remind myself of the name of it. It was the Alluring Moons. So the new Umbral repeaters, which will be unlockable through the elite tier of the new Hunt Pass. So with that artwork next to the Slayers, sorry, is a Chaos, like the new fauna, and it's fighting alongside in this artwork. It's fighting alongside the Slayers, insinuating that it's attacking the behemoth with the Slayers. So they're delaying this pet mechanic. However, it was basically confirmed on Reddit that there's going to be a new special attack or a new cell or a new ability in the game which will allow you to temporarily use fauna to attack behemoth as well. So I don't know if it'll just they'll spawn them for a few seconds or if it'll shoot and attack it. I'm not sure, but you'll be able to use Chaoxes to attack a behemoth alongside you, which is a great mechanic. I'm all for it for sure.
It is. Because regarding Cell with creep minion or whatsoever, if you remember, was the guild path, the sort of cell. If you're surrounded by creep, you do more damage.
Yeah.
But was not really a great impact, you know,
No,
in the game.
no.
Because I never saw anyone build a set around that.
It was a
About
gimmick
this
at first.
creepy-
I did it first, but after I realised that just there was better builds and it was a gimmick. I liked it, and then I stopped using it pretty much. There was no
Yeah.
effective build
So
with it.
this one to send a beast or summon or whatsoever,
Yeah.
okay, can be nice, I mean, it's always a new different idea. I hope does also sort of elemental damage
Yeah.
if you have, you know, that weapon can be nice, or I don't know, like a sort of distraction.
Yeah.
For example, if he does a taunt on the behemoth, can be also nice, you know.
Yeah,
For that few seconds, 5 seconds, for example, he's taunt
Yeah.
the behemoth, so you have free damage for 5 seconds. After, boom, it disappears. Can be really, it's open for a lot of different
Sure.
option, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool.
I
It's very
agree.
cool if you can use a pet. I mean, why not?
Why not?
Absolutely, why not?
And hopefully it's effective, because you talked about the Artificer Omnicell there, which, again, it was really cool to begin with. The idea of being able to... reviving someone with the Artificial Omnicell is not easy. It's really hard clicking directly on that player. I like some of the buffs it gives you, however, creating builds around it just wasn't that good. And then I think of the God Hand, which has that really cool gimmick of the laser beam which shoots out of the Warpike. Great to look at, but again, it's not a very effective weapon. So hopefully
No,
it's
really, yeah.
it's more than a gimmick and it's something that actually benefits your builds.
Let's say, yeah, let's hope really it's gonna be right.
Yeah.
I'm also curious to see all the effect of each single weapon, because some, okay, we're gonna immediately understand what they're gonna do. Let's say, for example, the silver sword does the panger on the ground. The axe from the Torgador, you become again Torga with a, you know, with a ham.
Yeah.
Sorry, with a harm.
Yeah,
Like
legendary
the Torga
ability.
makes sense. But some weapon, honestly, I'm so curious to see what they do.
Yeah.
I'm
Me
really
too.
curious to see the effect. And if you notice, was a YouTuber, a Portuguese, sorry,
Oh, right.
Argentina YouTuber.
All right,
On the
okay.
new weapon, if you go on the section where you can see the new 11 weapon,
Yeah, I'm there now.
the last one, let's say the second from the second line from the right, so the sort of sword
Thunder
with
Show?
all the bolt thunder is a
Yeah.
new one.
Thunder Show, yeah.
It's a new skin.
Uh-huh.
If you see, it's between the axe from the shroud and the Boreos or whatever, the chain blade.
Yeah, I see it,
So
I see it.
that one is a new skin and is a new electric weapon. Nice.
It's cool.
Nice. It's very similar to like the sort of mace in the Japanese culture of the Oni of Demon.
Oh, right,
They have
okay.
like similar shape.
Sweet,
If
yeah.
you look closely, if you zoom it, you can see it's very similar, because it's not a sword, but it's a mace.
So
but
it
it's part
is,
of
yeah.
the sword.
I never even noticed that because I hadn't zoomed in on it, but it literally, it looks exactly, almost like Negan's bat from
Yeah.
The Walking Dead as well. It's like a bat or a mace with spikes on it. It's
It's
pretty...
that mace, and then of course they consider like a sword. Okay, but yeah.
New weapon
This one is
confirmed
one of
right
the-
here. We're getting Macy's and Dauntless.
Yeah. In Dauntless, everything can be everything.
Exactly.
A shite can be an axe, and a mace can be a sword.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's so many weapons there that some of them I mean, some of them we obviously know what they do. I mean, the living branch and all these weapons, we already know kind of what they're going to do, but there's some we don't, so that'll be cool to see for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, someone I don't have idea
Mhm.
because let's say some of those
Yeah.
are just skin
Mhm.
from old for the old path.
Mhm.
So the second, sorry, on the first line on top, starting from left,
Mhm.
the second wave of the chain blade, that
Uh,
one was part of a pass. Also, the pike next by the frozen axe was also another skin,
yeah, I got that as
and
well. The alchemist hunt
yeah,
pass, it was called, I think, something like that. The armor is quite cool. Didn't look like an
yeah,
alchemist from the armor,
the
but
armor is cool. I like it.
yeah.
And the Ether Strike, I think so. This one are that one you have to pay, and now they are free. Because
Yeah.
was a moment when they released a skin
Mhm.
from the scan for the Ether Strike. I think so.
Mhm.
This is the skin.
Yeah.
So this means they just said something normally you have to buy, you have to pay for that. Now is a weapon.
See, there we go. That's things we once had to pay for are now free. I mean, we've got loot boxes now, but some things are free now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see what they're gonna do for free for us.
yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
I will pay something. I have to say another things.
Mhm.
This is a good consideration. Well, not many people they say so many YouTuber and Dauntless they say if you buy something, please use my code. No, to do that. Say something, share a right message because if I
Yeah.
say this,
Mhm.
guys, if you play to buy something on Dauntless, please use hashtag DaniTea and share it. No, no, no. Do something, something great. Say, guys,
Yeah.
if you like this game, yes, buy something because you will
Support it.
support
Mhm.
the Phoenix Club to improve this program
Yeah.
or anyway this game. And after you can write on the post production hashtag Danity, you know. But if I communicate this message on this
Yeah.
way, if you plan to buy something, add also my name. Maybe I don't like you, I don't want to share
But we
the
need that
money with you. But
commission.
honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's commercial. So
Yeah.
honestly, yes. My message for this is yes, guys. So at least,
Sweet.
I mean, it is very convenient. Just try to buy the pass. Just if you really like this game,
Mhm.
I
Support it.
don't. With this, I don't mean the people they have to spend all the money in
No.
this game, no, in loot box, etc.
Mhm.
But our little community, if we really like this game, if we really believe in this game like I do, and
Mhm.
I did, just buy little stuff. It's like do a donation. You don't
Mhm.
need to buy the pass. You can buy, for example, one skin,
Mhm.
but do it.
Yeah.
Do it. I did it.
Mhm.
I bought honestly the beginner pass, that sort of little welcome package. I bought the extension of my what is the name, where you can set all the armor. Normally you have three,
Yeah, your
but if you buy
slots, your web art, your what are they?
yeah, the
Slots,
slot
whatever.
for the
Mhm.
all these little things. In the end, I spent in this game £20.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't regret it. I don't
No.
regret it
Mhm.
because my intention is I pay this £20,
Mhm.
but I believe will help Phoenix Lab
For sure.
to release and to do better next
Mhm.
time.
This is a really good point. I mean, I Dauntless. I don't care what anyone says. You have the ability to play hundreds and thousands of hours of this game without putting a single penny into the game, and that's fine. Go for it. However,
Yeah,
Dauntless
go, go, go.
Dauntless is it's my RuneScape, it's my World of Warcraft, it's the MMO that it's not an MMO, but you know what I mean. It's the MMO style game that I
Yeah,
put the
yeah,
most
yeah.
amount of time in, and I care deeply for it. Therefore, I will support it, and I think it's probably the game that I've put the most, despite it's a free game. There's not been a game that I've put more money into than Dauntless. I mean, I've bought
Yeah.
all the hunt passes because I want the hunt passes. I've bought some of the XP passes. I've bought, as you said, some of the weapon and armor slots. And that's good because we're a small community, and one day Dauntless will be dead and buried, and it won't be around forever. No game will, but we want it around for as long
Yeah.
as possible, and that's the only way you're going to be able to do that is to help
Yes.
the
Yes.
developers for sure.
Because I
So,
mean, I don't force anyone to pay
mhm,
that one. Don't get like mine like a sort of forcing the people to pay. If you
No,
can
no, no.
afford, okay.
Mhm.
You cannot, or if you can but you don't want to, feel free to do it. But in perspective, I think it is also fair enough. If you enjoy the time with your friend with this game, why not? This is my question. Why not? Why don't
Exactly. Yeah.
spend fine money? We spend money for a lot of silly stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, lose £5 or
Mhm.
whatever, $5 or whatsoever. It's not the end of the world.
For sure. I mean, I bought the indie pack, and to get that posted across the ocean to Scotland, it cost nearly as much as the actual indie pack itself. But I did it because not only did I love the statue that came with it, the Pangar statue, but it was something I wanted because it's a game I care about. It was expensive, but it's worth it, and it's something that I treasure
I
more than
mean,
anything in my collection.
look, if it's something you like, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Can be cost £1,
Mhm.
can be 100,000. But
Mhm.
if you like it,
Yeah.
you don't need to find any excuse. If it's something you like, it.
Damn
I
right, man.
mean, it's
Damn
on
right.
you, and I will be with you, and will tell you, yeah, you did right. You did right. Look, I spend money in game, and sometimes like why I did it,
Mhm.
but no regret, no regret. I
Me
spend
neither.
money for buy
Mhm.
the ticket for play Wayfinder,
Mhm.
and okay,
Uh,
in the end was the game, but I give the trust, okay. Or I bought also little game like Dave the Diver game. Absolutely, guys.
mhm.
Fly, fly. Yeah, let's buy things. Let's help these all these people if they deserve it. Yes, let's do it.
There's an interesting thought. I was accepted for the Wayfinder closed beta, but not the Dauntless one. So it just shows you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Really, Wayfinder. Just to open, a little bracket. Wayfinder, they are news like free
Yeah, yeah.
fun. I say, okay, February, guys. February 2024 is gone. We are almost 2025,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, it's happened. It's happened. No
Bless them.
regret for all
No.
the money I gave, but
There
it's
was
happened.
there was potential there as well. It's a real shame. There was potential. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it. I didn't like I didn't like that you had to choose characters. That was something that I didn't enjoy. I prefer character customization to a certain extent. I play Warframe as
yeah,
well, and I guess that you choose from different Warframes, but it
yeah,
wasn't unique enough, and I think I found it a bit weird that you were in these open lobbies with loads of the same little characters running around. It
yeah,
just looked a
same,
bit
yeah, same,
stupid, you know.
yeah,
But there was so much
yeah.
potential.
Indeed, indeed. I play Warframe too.
Yeah,
My list is quite big
yeah,
regarding free to play also game.
mhm,
When I play also World of Warcraft.
yeah.
Yeah, I spend the money, and yeah, no regret. I stopped to play World of Warcraft, and okay, fair enough,
That's it. No,
fair enough.
no, not at all. So the final thing to talk about, from what I have here anyway, is the launch date, and this is something that obviously we've been curious about for a very long time. It's something that there's rumours, there's speculation, there's hints here and there. However, I truly believe I know when this game is going to launch, and I'd like to share why I've come to that conclusion. I don't know if you've got your thoughts, Danny, but I have my thoughts on when this game will launch. I might be proved wrong, but I'm fairly certain. So, the first thing obviously
For
was
you, when will be? You
okay.
wanna share it or no?
I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it. I'm going to tell you how I've come to the conclusion first, but I'm going to share it. So, they cancelled the 30 Day Slayers Club on the 8th of November. Okay, so, but they still had, so the buff for the 30 Day Slayers Club they cancelled. However, they didn't cancel the 7 day or the 3 day, I think it was. So, the reason they said they cancelled it is because you wouldn't be able to use all those 30 days. So that leads me
Yeah,
to believe that from the 8th of November, 30 days is the maximum amount of time that this update would have to launch, because why would they say that you're not going to be able to reap the rewards of a 30-day Slayer's buff if you can? So I believe that the reason they cancelled it on that date is because it's going to be no more than 30 days before launch, okay? The other thing is that the season we currently have in Dauntless is due to reset. I believe it's the 5th as well. I think
yeah,
that's when the season resets on the 5th. Um, there's other little things here and there, but basically my conclusion is that Dauntless Awakening is launching on the 5th of December. That's when I think.
Oh.
I've done my research.
Honestly,
Unless
I'm
there's
really fine.
unless there's a hidden reason, unless there's unless they fuck up on the last day or something like that, I truly believe it'll launch on the 5th. What do you think?
Honestly with you, these things regarding the release, I'm because 24, 26, sorry, 24, 25th, 26,
No.
no, of
Christmas,
course,
no, they're not doing
no.
it then. So it's got to
You
be
have
before that.
27, 28, 29, okay, you have another 4 days,
Mhm.
but no.
Yeah.
Do exactly the end of the year, the 31st is a joke.
Mhm. They
Because
just
you're gonna release in Christmas Eve.
11:59 on New Year's Eve. Yeah, we told you before.
You know, you are there with your mother, your keyboard, your father, like, yeah, everybody behind you. You. No, cannot be. Yeah, make more sense, honestly, with you. I was thinking the 20th of December,
That's fair. I can see
but
that.
around that day. But after the day, we talk already people that are out for the shopping and all these things regarding Christmas and etc.
Yeah.
So let's say end of the year is not exactly the right word. Let's say
No.
December, but no end of the year because come on.
I think
Come on.
if we
And
look into the working week. for
like I
this,
told you, I don't know if I said in the beginning this podcast, I'm just worried because they did the same, let's say the same mistake when they released the game the first time, because they released the game and after a month was Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
So now they're gonna do the same with 2 months different roughly. In February we have Wild.
They've timed that
I
terribly.
mean, it's
haven't
tough, it's tough, it's tough because in the past we saw so many people. I was also doing a live, I don't remember which game at the moment, and it was hard to join in the server. After they released New World, was like instant click.
I remember it well.
You know,
Yeah. I remember
it's
the
very tough
servers
because
were
the thing
overloaded
is,
to begin with. I remember it was
yeah,
you just get
yeah.
kicked out. That's a distant memory that now. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Let's see. Because the question is, if they've changed their mind, okay, and they said, you know, guys, we decide it's not the right time to do end of the year. You cannot release in the new year in January or February, and you cannot release after February
No.
because the vibe of Wild will be still around. So do the 20 is a very big gamble because it is. You have 2 months where you have to pump it up as much as you can, and let's see the score.
You could be right. I mean, the last working day before the Christmas week is Friday the 20th of December. So you could be right there. That would be a good day to release. But then I think... So I had, in my last video when I talked about all the information, the research as to why I came away that day, I had a window of the 5th to the 17th of December. I think there would be a couple of weeks worth of patching they would want to keep before Christmas. Because if they launch the game straight before Christmas and then they go off on holiday for 2 weeks and the game's left a mess for those 2 weeks, I think they would do it a bit earlier and then they would leave a couple of weeks until that holiday. That's just my thinking. I'm going to go with the 5th. I think
you're
the 5th.
You're right. Because, I mean, in Christmas, do you think it's gonna work? I mean, if my manager is coming and saying, you know, we have this bug, do you mind to... Don't worry. Leave on my desk.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I work on it.
Oh yeah, I'll
I'm
be
on
there.
it.
I'll be
I'm
there.
on it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I
Nope.
will be there. No.
I think the 5th, and you know what?
Let's see.
All the hype on social media, so they're posting regularly, they're updating, they're on Facebook, they're on X, they're on Instagram. They haven't done that for a very long time. This leads me to believe that they're building towards something. They're not planning on disappointing us again. I think there's not going to be another delay, so I don't think it'll be January, February, March. I think it'll be the 5th of December. I think that's 5th or 6th. That's when I believe. But,
Look, if it's another delay, I'm gonna make seriously a massive video in English just only to complain, shouting and screaming. I'm gonna put Yeah, you
Good shout.
like,
I'll just go off. I'll just go off YouTube. I'm done. I'm like, nope. I've spent a year and a half talking about this update. No, I'm done.
yeah.
No, I think it will come
Okay,
out.
we can start to talk about Wild,
Hmm.
Monster Hunter Wild. We can move there.
Exactly. We're going over at Monster Hunter. I think it'll be the 5th because I think, or the 6th, but they need patching time because if they're going to launch the game, there's going to be issues, and they can't leave the game a
Yeah.
buggy mess over the Christmas holidays. So I think early December.
Honestly,
That's.
yeah,
Mm,
makes sense.
mhm.
And I have to say, I mean, from my perspective,
Mhm.
um, the programmer in Phoenix Lab, they say they are pretty slow when they're working fixing bug. Sometimes we can read. Do you remember the problem with the trucks? We fix it. You go to the escalation, dark escalation, the trucks it goes away.
Was it Nasher neutral weapons that were bugged for about a year? I remember. I think it was the Nasher. The
Yeah,
weapons were doing
and then now
like.
the chain blade.
Yeah. They were, but they were doing extra. That I remember they were doing like times 5 damage or times 3 damage or something, like via a glitch for like a year, and they just never got around to sorting it. And I used them for like a year for everything. I completed so much with them. I remember. I didn't even have any good builds, but I was doing such high damage because of it. But it was a year, over a year actually. That it was quite funny.
So
Yeah.
they are quite slow, I have
Mhm.
to say.
Mhm.
Regarding fixing, I think so. The big issue with Phoenix Lab
Mhm.
is not the idea, but more the part regarding the IT. The guy
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
supposed to fix this issue because so many times, if you remember, with each
Yeah.
patch note,
Mhm.
they fix A, but now B is not working very well.
Yeah.
So,
Well.
the Emberman, let's say, is bugged now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and it's going to launch with bugs, and they're going to need time to fix that. I mean, 2 weeks isn't
Yeah,
going to be enough,
they
but
need time.
I'd
They need
imagine
absolutely time.
if it was game-breaking bugs, they would want to get on it that really quickly, and I can't imagine they would leave it over the Christmas holidays. But these are just my thoughts, and that's everything. That's everything I wanted to talk about today. I've got, if you've got an extra 5 minutes, I could jump through some very very quick community questions if you'd like. But other than that,
Mm.
pretty much I think that's everything I came to talk about today. I'll,
Honestly, yeah, we discussed about everything, all the
yeah.
different point of view,
Mhm.
all the things we hope they're gonna add on this
Mhm.
game, and
Yeah. So,
mm,
just to
nothing
really.
honestly to add
Mhm.
because
No, I
I
don't think
share
so.
all my idea regarding the guild,
Mhm.
regarding the grenade, regarding what we really need in
Mhm.
this new awakening.
Mm.
I hope to find a new, fresh gameplay
Agreed.
because remove a lot of stuff. Okay, you want change? Okay, but what we need is a new gameplay able to grab you, keep you, and
Mhm.
also give a reason to say you are part of my guild because right now
I agree. Mhm.
doesn't have that weight, just a name. You're in a guild, but
Yeah.
where is the
Yeah.
point of the guild?
I mean, that's it. They're taking away our progress. Make it worth it. That's the way I'm thinking about it. Make
Yeah.
it worth it. Yeah. So very, very quickly before we finished, I'm just going to jump over to the community feed. I've just got 3 little comments that of people who wanted to be involved in the show. So just to quickly jump into that, I only posted this a little while ago, so I didn't leave people very much time. First is from Phoenix Artea, who has actually briefly been on the show a very long time ago last year. Phoenix states that they can't wait for the update. What's your thoughts on canisters and the elite tiers of the hunt pass? Well, we've already answered that question in a lot of detail. I think
Yeah.
we've talked about that in vast amount of detail. It's not a positive aspect of the game, as Danny has stated. It's not something that's overly bothering me, but it's not something I'm going to be using either. I'll probably just ignore it, like I do in other games. Yeah. As for the elite tiers of Hunt Pass, we've talked about that. I think we agreed it was a positive. I think it makes
Yeah, it's a
sense.
positive
Mhm.
thing. It's
Yeah.
correct to give a free option. Why
Mhm.
not of the same stuff?
Exactly.
It's absolutely, it's not the first time, it's not the first game
Mhm.
opt for a different way.
Yeah.
And if you think also when you buy a game, you have the basic, you have, let's say, the basic plus, you have the ultra, the marvelous, the limited edition, and so on, so on, so on.
Modern gaming,
So
man.
divide the
Modern
young
gaming.
part.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope will be a really net something really divide
Mhm.
does really the difference.
Yeah.
This is very important.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I have to, I have to really to pull you on the max
Mhm.
one and tell you, yes, it's a good reason if you buy it. You get this, that, and etc.
Well, it seems
Let's
like
see,
you'll
let's
get. It seems like you'll get all the perks from the Slayers Club, so that in itself is useful. The XP boosts and things like that. And then if you're getting weapons or weapon transmogs or skins or anything, yeah, I think and they need to be good.
yeah,
But that's a positive, I would say. I've got nothing against that at all. We've got Newts91 who states, will you do an episode with everyone together? That would be sick. As in, I'm imagining you're talking about so all the guests we've had on the show before. So your Ice Fluffies, your Shireen Plays, Swift and Deadlies, Geo Era, all these guys, DaniTea. Yeah, that would be amazing. I think maybe after
yeah.
launch that was something I was thinking of. Danny, this is a great time to ask you. Would you come back on for something like that?
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, if I'm off that day, of course,
Finding a
I'm more
day
than
will be
welcome.
difficult. Yeah, no, that'll be the challenge. Finding a day with different time zones, that'll be a huge challenge. But of course, I'll be
Yeah, this
trying to
is
make it work.
seriously tough because
Mhm.
we are working different time,
Oh
different.
yeah.
I mean, about me and you is okay.
Mhm.
Let's say we have to find the right day.
Yeah.
Of course, join all together unless you do different section.
Mhm.
3 people for that day and 4 people for
Yeah.
another one.
Mhm.
I
I
mean,
th-
at least we are there.
I think I've found so far with these podcast episodes, having one person on has been more than enough because not only do they have all the opinions and they have their own viewers and they've had so much to add, I think it's been more than enough. But having several opinions, of course, that'll be a good thing to plan in the future. But right now, quite happy. Having Danny on the show today has been wonderful, and that's all I need. But yeah, after this launch, it's something I do plan on doing. Finding a day and then remembering that day, Danny. Not not forgetting what day it was meant to be, like I did for this podcast. That would be the biggest challenge. But for sure, for sure. And then we've got KMH. Triple G, who's commented before, I believe, stating, "What weapon do you think will be the best when Dauntless Awakening drops?" Oh my goodness, I
War
don't,
fight,
I
war
don't.
fight for life.
Warpike. See, I'm Axe, but Warpike's my second. I don't
Really?
know. I genuinely don't
War
know.
fight.
So Danny seems. I feel like he's even using his pen. Warpike.
My war bike.
There you go, Warpike. There you go, KMH Triple G. Warpike it is. That is the weapon that will be the
Yeah.
ultimate weapon in
For me,
Dauntless
war
following
bike.
this update.
The
I'll.
war bike is the best.
I think I'll begin with the sword just to find balance to begin with. I think sword's perfect. If I'm restarting, and essentially we are all going to be restarting, I'll begin with the sword and then I'll go to my favourites like the axe, like the warpike, and then I'll probably try the ones that I'll use less, like the hammer and the rapiers. But yeah, warpike's always it's always fairly effective. The
Yeah.
interesting thing about the weapon system is they're now going to serve more of a purpose depending on the weapons they are. So for the warpike, you're going to be doing mainly that wound damage. I mean, obviously you do wound damage is the it's what you do most with the warpike, but now it seems almost
Yes.
exclusively
It's the
wound
basic
damage.
what you have to do.
Mhm.
The war pike. The point of the war pike is activate the Aether status
Mhm.
when you have that sort of icon with like a
Yeah.
flame and the heart with the scar.
Yeah.
That one was a good point because you just buff your team.
Mhm. Mhm.
Of course, in high level escalation, you have a chopstick or like my pen.
Yeah.
You never bloody cut the behemoth, but
Yeah.
in general, yes, Warpike is nice. You have a 360. to stop any
Mm-hmm.
attack around you. You booping easily, I have to
Good
say,
boops, yeah.
and also you have blind damage, stun damage, and I like
Missile
the
damage,
the
yeah.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
A,
I like Warpipe.
a unique dodge animation, what more do you need? There you go.
Yeah, no, that dodge animation, guys. I mean,
It's lovely, I have to say.
Warpipe is everything.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
cool.
beautiful.
It almost makes you think that they had that plan for every weapon and then they just kind of gave up with the Warpike, eh? Because I think the Warpike's the only weapon that
Yeah,
has that
no.
unique dodge. Oh no, sorry, the Chainblades have a unique dodge animation, but it's
Yeah,
boring.
unique.
It's
Yeah,
not very good.
Chainblade and also
It's just choo,
the
choo.
special
Yeah,
movement.
yeah. Well,
Ah,
that is everything.
it's what.
That's everything we have to talk about. There's going to be a new dev blog probably shortly after we've finished recording this episode, which is tragic, but then that gives us information to talk about for the next podcast episode.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's just in case.
Hmm.
I refresh the website. No, it's
Why
still
not?
the
Why
same.
not? Let's have a look. They shared the new Twilight Domain picture. Nah, nothing there yet.
The game patch note. I don't think so.
Mm. Actually,
Not still the same.
I think we've talked about plenty though. This has been excellent. This is we've never had so much information to talk about. So it's so having this information to talk about rather than just try to find information where there is none. It's very exciting. I'm still going with my
Yeah.
5th of December launch date. I think it's fairly possible. So
Yeah, no, no, it is, it is.
things are
It
on the
is. Makes
horizon.
very sense.
Yeah. Well, I just want to take this opportunity again to thank Danny for joining us for this episode. As I said,
And thanks to real
hmm
thanks to give me the opportunity. Because was really a massive big blog, and I feel honored
yeah,
to be part of your
oh,
podcast
it's been
for
great.
the big cake. Really, thanks really a lot for the opportunity.
Yeah, you got the best one, I think. So that's I'm glad you did because your passion, your enthusiasm, your constructive criticism as well. It's excellent and exactly what we need in this community. You get people that criticise needlessly. They're overly negative and just moan at every. I've had some comments recently because some of my videos have done fairly well. That means you get some of the viewers that you sometimes don't want. You get some comments with just stupid moaning people, but having constructive criticism and opinions that actually could enhance the player experience,
Yeah.
like Danny's. I think it's opened my eyes as well. So thank you, Danny, for taking the time to join the
No,
episode.
no, no, no. You're
Appreciate it.
welcome. Because look, easy say I don't like it.
Hmm.
Easy had a quick solution, but the thing is, okay, but you know, in the small world,
Hmm.
in this few words, what we have to do, you know?
Yeah.
I remember, if I can say these things, I
Sure.
remember one team meeting in my job,
Mhm.
and regarding, you know, do something for the team to cheer up the team because,
Mhm.
you know, was falling down,
Team building
so many
exercise.
complaints.
Ugh.
Yeah, team
Yeah.
building. And one of the manager said, propose
Fuck.
activity. And the senior leader will step from the chair and say, "Hey, genius, which activity?" So was look like like lost. Okay, it's nice activity,
Yeah.
but which kind of activity will
Be specific.
build up our
Mhm.
team? You know, this is just reach
Mhm.
the conclusion of the problem because just say something,
Mhm.
everybody are able to do that.
Yeah.
Let's go on the point. Let's breach the point.
Mhm. That's brilliant. If you haven't heard of DaniTea before, you have now. Get over to his channel, please go and subscribe. Check out some of his very consistent content. Yes, a lot of it's in Italian. There's a translate button on YouTube. That's what I use for his content. It works very, very well if you don't speak Italian. For the Italian player base out there, which does exist because some of the views this guy is getting is awesome. So it's clear that he's filling that gap there and he's doing an awesome job there. So get over there and get subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. And thanks again, Danny. Appreciate that.
Also for you. I mean, if you're new on the channel, please subscribe both.
Brilliant. So that'll about do it for today. Perfect place to leave this podcast episode. And until next time, see you later.